Hotep, I am the Amen Osiris, the one and only undisputed God of law. We are we are at 4D underscore destroyers at deceptionstoppers.com, America's only child support education service. I'm not a lawyer. This is not a law firm. I don't advocate that you don't support your human offspring. I simply advocate that you made them in private and you raise them in private. And today, this is lesson number 3. We're going to be going over title 4D Words of Art. Okay. If you need to reach me, listen, fellas and ladies, if you send me a book for an email, I am not going to read that book. I'm going to respond to you. Hit me here and make an appointment. If you want to make an appointment, you hit me here. Let me know what day and time you want to make an appointment. And if it's available, I will create the link and we will send it to you. Okay. There is a fee for my appointments. They are not free, so don't get it twisted. So this is lesson number 3. All right. 42 USC 666A13. Okay. Requires, let me just cut down. All right, this is where Congress gave child support enforcement agencies access to new sources of obtaining Social Security numbers. All right, this provision right here, which is not enacted into positive law, all right, requires that the SSN of any applicant for professional driver's occupational, recreational, or marriage license be recorded on the application, but not on the face of the license itself. So in other words, when you apply for something from the state, there has to be a Social Security number. Without Social Security number, you will not get what you're asking for. Okay. Now, it is illegal for them to discriminate, all right, for the non-use of a Social Security number, but I can tell you what, that's a whole bunch of red tape to cut through. All right. I'm coming from Pennsylvania law, and if you look hard enough under the basis of personal jurisdiction, okay, you will find in the state that you're in, you will find these words: basis of personal jurisdiction over persons outside this Commonwealth. All right, doesn't make difference if you're outside or inside. Number 9, making application to any government unit for any certification, license, permit, registration, or similar instrument or authorization, or exercising any such instrument or authorization. When you filled out the driver's license application, you gave them personal jurisdiction over a person. When you got some type of permit, you gave them personal jurisdiction over that person. When you got a registration vehicle or something like that, you gave them personal jurisdiction over that person. Now, I read this case law to you before. I'm going to read it again. And I hope you comprehend this. If you do not, then don't even bother going forward. Okay? Now, so when you make an application to any state, which is a corporation, you give that state jurisdiction over that person because there has to be a Social Security card attached to it. No Social Security card, no service. That's just how the state gets down. Okay? And you're going to find out why right here. This is a case law. Penhallow versus Dones. Inasmuch as every government is an artificial person, it doesn't say some governments, it says every government is an artificial person, including the federal government, the state government, or local government. Okay? An abstract and a creature of the mind only. It does not exist. Don't get it twisted. They will cuff you and put you in jail. A government can interface only with other artificial persons. That is why they require the Social Security number to go on any application. Okay? Social Security number denotes what? That is a United States citizen, and we'll get to that. The imaginary, having neither actuality nor substance, is foreclosed from creating and attaining parity with the tangible. This means that you are the tangible. You are not a thing. You are a human being. Okay? God created man. Man created government. How did government get its authority over man? You gave it to him. The legal manifestation of this is that no government, as well as any law agency, that would be the Title 4D agency, aspect, court, which is the contracted court, can concern itself with anything other than corporate artificial persons and the contracts between them. When you make an application for a driver's license, marriage license, real estate license, any type of license, any vehicle registration or permit, that is a contract between you and the state Government. The state government is an instrumentality of the federal government. It is a corporation. All governments are corporations. Now, the contracts between them involve United States citizen. Read any application for any service that the state provides, and it will ask you, are you a United States citizen, or are you legally allowed to work in this country? United States is not a country, it is a corporation that is domiciled in the District of Columbia, which are deemed as corporate entities. So a United States citizen is a corporate entity. Gentlemen, do not be a United States citizen. Do not be a state citizen. And this also debunks the theory of the sovereign citizen. Number one, all men are sovereign, but a citizen is not. A corporation cannot be sovereign. Okay? Therefore, the U.S. citizens residing in one of the states of the Union, look that up, are classified as what? Property and franchises of the federal government. Why is it a franchise of the federal government? Because Social Security card name and account numbers are federal government property and can only be issued to federal employees on official federal business. Okay? So they're franchises of the federal government and an individual entity. What is an individual? An individual is an artificial person. Now, 19 Corpus Juris Secundum, Section 886, Legal Encyclopedia. A corporation is a citizen. Resident. Okay? Res. Res has two meanings. Res is property. Indent is short for identity. You're identified as property as a resident. Okay, so you don't want to be a resident or inhabitant of the state. What is the state? A corporation or country. All right, what is a country? A country is a portion of the earth's surface by or under the laws of which it was created, and that state or country only. What created the Social Security card and that citizen? The United States what? Social Security Administration. It's not in Washington D.C. Right? It's actually the SSA is in Maryland. It's in Baltimore, Maryland. However, it is still an instrumentality of the United States. So if a United States citizen is a corporation is an artificial person, a legal entity created by or under the authorities of the laws of a state. If a state is a corporation, then what does that mean? That means that that corporation has what's called bylaws. And let's see if I have this in here. Let me see here. Bylaw. Regulations, ordinance, rules, or laws adopted by an association or corporation or the like for its government, for its corporation. That's all it is, gentlemen. That's what a bylaw is. Okay? The laws of the state are bylaws. They are the supreme law of the land is the Constitution. All right, so a corporation, again, is an artificial person. What is an artificial person? Persons created and devised by human laws for the purpose of society and government. Well, if government is an artificial person, then it can only deal with artificial persons, hence the case law, Penhollow versus Domes. Okay? As distinguished from human beings, corporations are example of artificial persons. So if a citizen is a corporation, it is an artificial person. Okay? It is an it. So now let's get to the meat. The non-custodial pay rent is the property of the Fed. And we can prove this. All right, and we're going to prove it. All right, and what we're going to do is the first thing we're going to do is take you to system number 60-0058, system name, master file of Social Security number, holders, and SSN application, Social Security Administration. Number one, gentlemen, one of the things you can really do to upset the balance is ask them, well, tell you what, show me the application where I applied for a Social Security card. They don't have one. Your parents probably did it for you. Your signature ain't on it, so it doesn't apply to you. Okay? But this is what they say under System Master File. Purpose. We use information in this system to assign SSNs for a number of what? Administrative purposes. They provide the Social Security number after you apply, okay? After you voluntarily put it on an application and give them personal jurisdiction over that person, that artificial person, okay? What they do is when someone goes down, let's say baby mama, to child support, and they give a name, what they're going to do is they're going to run that name through the system. All right. And some people have a common name. All right. What's going to happen is that driver's license that you have or whatever you have through them is going to pop up. And they're going to ask you, is this him? Yeah, that's him. And then they got you. Okay. The U.S. Department of Health and Human Services Office of Child Support Enforcement for locating non-custodial parents who owe child support. I have here, if I'm not mistaken, this is an application for child support. Okay. Now, check this out. This is a bold-faced lie, and we're going to prove it. Note, each individual, what is an individual? In certain cases, it's an artificial person. For child support, this individual is an artificial person. Each individual's social security number is a critical part of case processing. No social security number, no child support case. Based on A13 of the Social Security Act, okay, you are required to disclose social security numbers to the child support agency. They will be used by the 4D agency in the state to locate individuals, to locate artificial persons for the purpose of what? Establishing paternity, modifying and enforcing child support obligations. Okay? The alternate resident, all right, the non-custodial parents, SSN is necessary to properly identify that parent. Now, again, I'm going to show you what is identification. All right, let's go to the Black's Laws. I just take the words out as I need them. All right, and I suggest you do the same. Identification, EFGHI. Identity, sameness in the law of evidence. The fact that a subject, person, or thing before the court is the same as it is represented to be. All right, gentlemen, okay. So when you walk into that child support case, okay, voluntarily, you are representing a subject, a person, or a thing before the court is the same as it is represented or claimed to be. What is the social security number claimed to be in child support in 4D? It is the non-custodial parent, gentlemen. Pay attention. All right. So they use this for administrative purposes. What is administrative? Black's Law's Dictionary, particularly having the character of executive or ministerial action. In this sense, administrative functions or acts are distinguished from such as are judicial, synonymous with executive. Gentlemen, this is a blatant disrespect to the separation of powers doctrine. Okay? Now, 42 USC. Sorry, I spelled it wrong. A little early in the morning and I've been up all night. All right, 42 USC 666A13. Notice of the non-custodial parent's social security account number and home address. Okay, what is a home address? There's a zip code attached to it. Zip codes denote a federal revenue district. Shall be furnished to the state agency requesting the refund or offset. Okay, so here it is. The non-custodial parent is positively identified by a social security card name and account number. Here is why. Section 8 4D Enforcement Program, page 13. The SSN is the key piece of information around which the 4D information system is constructed. All 4D computer searches need the SSN in order to operate effectively. Gentlemen, without a social security number, they have no non-custodial parent. Okay? Please don't email me saying, how can I get rid of the social security number? Do your research. All right, so if the social security number is the key piece of information, let's look at the word key. Key, an indefinite description of property made certain. So therefore, the non-custodial parent is what? Description of property made certain. And here's your proof. 20 CFR 422-103D. Social security number cards Social Security number cards are the property of the Social Security Administration and you must be returned upon request. This is on the back of the Social Security card, gentlemen. Okay? Let's look at the definition of property. That which is peculiar or property to any person. Person does not mean a human being. The Social Security Administration is a person. A person is a corporation. That which belongs exclusively to one. Who's that? The Social Security Administration. In the strict legal sense, an aggregate of rights are guaranteed and protected by the government. Not on the Social Security card, but they will protect their property. More specifically, ownership. Okay, they own it. The unrestricted and exclusive right to a thing. Remember, all right, the non-custodial pay rent is identified by a social security number. Identity means what? Check it out. All right. Sameness in law, the evidence that a fact that of evidence, the fact that a subject, person, or thing before the court is the same as it is represented or charged to be. Therefore, when you walk in here, gentlemen, they are deeming you property. All right. The right to dispose of a thing. Okay. In every general way. Don't do all right, it's their property. Do they have a right to charge their property for child support? Yes, they do. To possess it, to use it. Don't do they use it? Yes, they do. And to exclude everyone else from interfering with it. So, in other words, guess what? Use of somebody else's social security card is a felony, isn't it? That dominion or indefinite right of use or disposition which one may lawfully exercise over particular things. There it is again. Or subjects. There it is again. And here it is. I'm going to show it to you again. Okay. Identity, sameness in law of evidence. The fact that a subject, person, or thing before the court is the same as it is represented, claimed, or charged to be. Now, let's look at what a subject is. All right, we're going to go down here and we're going to go to the S's. Subject, one who owes allegiance to a sovereign and is governed by his laws. Gentlemen, quote me where there is a sovereign in the United States. How can a corporation, an artificial person which does not exist, a creature of the mind, which cannot deal with the tangible, how can that be a sovereign? All right, and who is he? It says his laws. Okay, you are sovereign. Okay, so if anything, the government which man created owes allegiance to you as the sovereign, and it is governed by your laws. What is your law? The Constitution is the supreme law of the land. Okay, so subject. Okay, term. What we got to do here? Subject, and let's see. Let's go down and look at the word thing. Thing, the object of a right, whatever is treated by the laws as the object over which one person and or persons lies a duty. Okay, what is the object over which child support is saying that you owe a duty? All right, it's the social security card. Okay, the exclusive right of possessing, enjoying, and disposing of a thing, the highest right a man can have to anything. Okay, right here, you don't have a right to to Title 4D, or you don't have a right to that Social Security card because it's not your property. Therefore, the non-custodial pay rent is the property of the corporate United States. It does not exist, and without a non-custodial pay rent, properly identified by a Social Security card, name, and account number, there can be no 4D case. If you filled out an application for a driver's license and all that, you gave them personal jurisdiction over that person, not of yourself, but they will enforce it. The child support agency is not a state agency. It is a foreign corporation operating within the state. Okay? United States citizen is a corporation. It is identified as res, which is property. All right, so technically, resident should say identified property. That's what resident means. Gentlemen, here it is, lesson number 3. If you need to speak with me, hit me at 4D_destroyer at yahoo.com, and we will schedule you an appointment. You let me know what date and time that you would like to attend. And you let me know if you want to do a webinar or a one-on-one phone consultation. I will send you the request. Once that request is filled, I will create the link and we will continue on with your education. Okay? Do not be fooled. Okay? Now, this is Pennsylvania. I pulled this out of Pennsylvania because I just did a case down there for a client of mine. All right, but if you look in the state statutes, you will find basically information such as this. Okay? Once you fill out that application, the state automatically obtains jurisdiction over that artificial person, not you. I'm the Amen Osiris, folks. You need me, you know where to find me. Hotep.